Hey, it's Alvin from Priceline Pharmacy, West Brunswick, and we're doing this week's Ask Alvin Show, episode number 20. This is a live Q&A that we do every week, most weeks. It's my intention to provide as much advice and value as I can for our clients and for our subscribers and the people that like us in internet land. So what I do here is I answer some common questions that you have about pharmacy, wellness, natural medicines. Those are my areas of passion, and I'm truly devoted to serving my community on those related matters. So this is live, so you can come on and ask me any questions and I will do my very best to answer them for you. If you're watching the replay, please make sure that you write your question in the comment section below and I will get to it next week and answer the questions for you. So speaking of the questions, just want to reiterate that all the advice I give here is general advice only. So please contact your healthcare professional or your pharmacist or your doctor to receive advice specific for the condition that you're experiencing. And if I do happen to mention any dosages, please ensure that you always use your medicines as directed and contact your health professional if your symptoms are persisting. Legal stuff out of the way for this episode number 20, I think. Probably said that. And let's jump into it. Oh, before we do that, I would always appreciate it. I love it if you can like, share, and comment on this video. It just helps get the word out there about the great work I think that we're doing. A lot of people are finding a lot of value out of what we're doing and really appreciate that. Let's go. Question number 1. Just to reiterate also that if you have a question, come on, write it below and I will answer it for you. So the first question is from Emily. Hey, Emily. Emily's asking, Alvin, you're always banging on about natural medicines. Can you tell me what natural medicines I can use to help treat period pain? Great. So just to recap for some people that may be unfamiliar with the whole deal with period pain, it's generally caused by inflammation of the uterine area caused by the monthly cycle that women experience. So there is a swelling and inflammatory component. That is why typically we use anti-inflammatory medications. So things like naproxen, ibuprofen, and there are some other brands which I'm probably not allowed to say, so I'll just stick to the drug terms, or just commonly let's call them anti-inflammatories. Anti-inflammatories are good to use when they hurt real bad. But yes, some people prefer not to use anti-inflammatories because of the tolerance, or they want to use something a little bit more natural. And also, quite often, the natural medicines can also be used as a preventative measure as well. So if you're one of these women that's unfortunate enough to get severe monthly cramping, you can actually use what I'm going to explain to use as a prevention. Let's go through my favorites for helping you, Emily, treat what natural medicines you can use for period pain. First one that I'd be recommending is zinc. So zinc is a natural anti-inflammatory. It has got really good antioxidant properties there as well. And it changes the blood flow to that area, the uterine area, and thereby reducing the swelling and inflammation that you would be experiencing. Zinc comes in many forms. You can get them in a tablet, spray, in a powder form as well. I definitely always recommend using the powder or the liquid form, and you want to ensure that you get 25 to 35 or 25 to 50 milligrams of zinc. You will need to work out the best dose for you. For women who are getting their symptoms really badly every month, I would be recommending that you take it regularly. For those that are not experiencing that badly, and if you know you're going to get it, you can start using the zinc a week before your cycle's due, or a week before you think you're going to get the pain. So zinc is something that I would be recommending. The next one is vitamin B1. So a few studies have found that a deficiency of vitamin B1 can cause cramping. So by supplementing with 100 milligrams of vitamin B1, you can increase, you can decrease, don't want to increase, you can decrease the intensity and the duration of the pain that you might be experiencing. So B1 and zinc. I would also be recommending, Emily, fish oils. Fish oils have got great anti-inflammatory components. If you're vegan, get on the flaxseed oil because that also has really good omega-3 properties there as well. You could also use magnesium. I've spoken about magnesium at length before in treating period pain. So I thought, Emily, since you're a regular listener, I would mention some of the other ones that I recommend regularly. And there's a whole heap of other natural medicines that you can take, but please come in and speak to us. I could just do a whole show on natural medicines for period pain relief, and maybe I should. In fact, if you want me to, please let me know, and I can do that for you. Great, Emily, hopefully that answered your question. The next question we've got today is from Erica. Erica from the Philippines is asking which vitamins are better to take, multivitamins or single vitamins. I feel like I've answered this question before, I'm just having a deja vu. But nevertheless, Erica, great question. So it really depends on what you're using it for. A multivitamin is a general vitamin that you take, is a general capsules or liquids that you take, which contains a whole suite of vitamins in there as well. So multivitamins can be good for everyday maintenance of energy, cellular levels, making sure that your body is performing optimally. And it's like a good everyday thing to take just to keep your body firing on all cylinders. If you have specific conditions or if you have specific deficiencies, that's when I'd be recommending particular vitamins. So we spoke about Emily's situation earlier where we would use zinc and vitamin B1. So you would use that in high doses. And I would still encourage everybody to use a multivitamin because a multivitamin lays the foundation. So when you do find that you need to add some of these other vitamins on top, your body's got the foundation there for these vitamins in the high doses to be working really effectively. So, Erica, it just depends on what we're doing, what you're trying to achieve, and where you're at in terms of what supplementation you're taking. So I can't really give you an answer, but I'm hoping that kind of gave you a little bit of direction. But if you have something specific, I'd be really interested, and I would really like you to message the pharmacy account, and I can run through your particular situation with what medicines you're taking and what you're trying to achieve from taking natural medicines as well. Awesome. Third question is from Derek. Derek is asking, what's the difference between being addicted to medication and being dependent on it? I hear my doctor and pharmacist putting around these terms. Great question, especially this time of the year where we're finding that we're treating a whole heap of conditions where people may become addicted and dependent. So let's go through them. So the first one, addiction. Addiction is a change in your behavior. The changes in basic biochemical changes in the brain that cause your addictive patterns. So an addictive pattern would be an addiction to chocolate. So if you're addicted to chocolate, the addiction component causes you to sort of constantly try and find chocolate. You're always hanging out for chocolate. You really, really feel like it. Sounds like most of us, doesn't it? So you're always looking out for chocolate. At the first instance, you see chocolate, you don't even know how it ends up in your hands. So that's what addiction is. And how this relates to medication. So some people may be, when you hear they may be addicted to a particular substance, they're actually addicted to the whole process that's going on in the brain causes changes. And, they're addicted to finding the medication. Sometimes they drive around from place to place searching for this medication. And that's what an addiction is, basically. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And I'm going to tie this all up at the end, Derek. So the next part of your question is dependence. So dependence is different from addiction. Dependence is when your body becomes physically reliant on the medication, where if you don't have that medication, you go into a state of tolerance and withdrawal. Quite often you can get so many medications that you can get on prescription and on the street that you can become dependent upon. So that means you need to start taking it all the time. And if you stop taking it, your body just goes into this withdrawal and your body starts going into sweats, diarrhea, you're really agitated, you can't sleep, you can't function on a daily level, you get cold and flu type symptoms. So that's a dependency. And that is a real physical response. You're going to feel totally sick, sore, and all the other symptoms I've mentioned before. So that's dependence, addiction versus dependence. So it is possible to have a physical dependence without addiction. So your body can still be in withdrawal, but you haven't got that change in chemical behavior in your brain where you're constantly trying to seek this drug for pleasure. However, it's been my experience that it's possible to have dependence with addiction because they can go hand in hand together. So recap, Derek, addiction, changing behavior. So you're constantly, the person is constantly searching, looking for access to this medication, and they're totally addicted and they've got neurochemical changes in the brain. Dependence is a physical dependence. So that means that they need to have it in their body for them to function regularly or normally. Derek, hopefully that answers your question, buddy. The next question we have is from Carla, and she is asking how to treat childhood eczema on her child's legs. Very common, Carla, so let's go. So first thing that we would do, if it's flared up, I would use, depending on the age of your child, Carla, and even for an infant, I would be using a low-dose cortisone-based cream to relieve the redness and inflammation. So you can get that from the pharmacy, you can get some from the doctor as well on prescription. So I would use a low-dose cortisone cream to settle down the redness and inflammation. What we would then also do is to keep the environment nice and hydrated, we would start to use a very simple moisturizer 2 or 3 times a day, actually more often than that, every couple of hours, I beg your pardon. And the moisturizer will keep that area nice and moist and hydrated. You can get products in the pharmacy that are quite oily and sticky and which work really, really well, especially behind the legs. We'd also ensure that we use a soap-free wash. So typically with children, if you're giving them a bath or a shower, we would use an soap-free oil to cleanse the area. Oils are really good because they retain the moisture but cleanse the area as well. So they were the first 3 things that I would use. Cortisone-based cream, using a very good simple moisturizer every couple of hours, making sure you're avoiding soap onto that area. The next things that we need to do is try and figure out what's causing the eczema. I would start with the obvious things, looking at what's in the diet. It's a matter of elimination. Dairy can be a pretty big culprit. Sugars as well. I would also be recommending probiotics. Again, yeah, probiotics are great. They start to rejig the immune system in the gut and try and dampen the response that your child may be having to whatever allergen is in their system. I would also, depending on the age as well, fish oils work really, really well. They work really well in reducing the inflammation, but also maintaining that the skin on the top few levels is nice and hydrated, and that it's starting to heal up really, really quickly. The only time I would not use a cortisone cream is when the skin is broken, so you just need to be aware of that. So if the skin is broken, Carla, your child's skin is broken behind the legs, we would want to heal it up first with just using a regular moisturizer, as I was talking about. And then once the broken skin is healed up, then we can use some cortisone for the redness and inflammation as well. If it's severely bad, you would need to go to the doctor and then get referrals on to a dermatologist as well, who then can start using some heavy-duty stuff. And in some cases, we may, on instruction from the doctor, need to compound some medication for you. So, hopefully that gave you some help there as well, Carla. So, if you're reluctant to use cortisones, I can understand and appreciate that. You don't need to. However, if you still are, you can get some really good natural preparations, which have got really good anti-inflammatory properties and hydrating properties there as well. So just come in and see us. There's a whole suite of options that we can use and you can use confidently as well. Great. All done. Thanks for tuning in. As I said before, if you're watching the replay, please make sure you leave a comment below. Always appreciate it if you like and share. If you've got any questions, throw them in the comment below. Any suggestions in the comment below. We've just changed our rig up a little bit. I'm not sure if you noticed that. Hopefully the picture's coming out a little bit better in quality. Let us know how you go. And if you have any suggestions, anything else you want to see on this show, please let me know. Great. I look forward to speaking to you all next week. Thanks.